All right, so let's talk about how to nest a block. So it is very straightforward. So nest blocks is just adding a block within another block. I'm going to create another block. I'm going to call it the card. That's liquid. And here, let's simulate a card. So I'm going to have a div. I'm going to have let's say some heading 3, for the heading for the card, heading title, and my bad. So this is going to be like a description, and we're going to have something like a button here. Okay. So then I'm going to add a schema. So let's call it the card, yeah, and then let's give it a class, the card. Let's keep the setting for now. Let's give it a preset, and let's add an object. Let's give it a name. It's going to be the card, and let's give it some settings here and save it. All right, so now this is a block theme. So if I want it to be accessible, for example, in my new card, the one we just created, this one. So if I want to access it here, okay, and let's say I want to replace one of the cards that we set here, okay, I already commented one actually when I was testing. So let's say I want to add one more card to appear here. So remember, first of all, we have to set our blocks array here to be type of theme, okay, and then we need to call this content for blocks just below the card here. And again, remember that it depends on how you set, like you designing like your UI, okay. So it could be like this here, and so far it is hard coded. I didn't go change the value yet. So if I go back to my code editor and I refresh, okay, so inside the new cards, I'm able to access, okay, let me remove this heading. You can see it was appearing here as a heading. Let me save it. Let me again refresh the page. So if I come here and I add a block, I'm able to access my, what did I call it? I call it the card. So there you go. Okay, so it's going to be appearing right here. All right, so now if I want to add, for example, because we already have in this website, of course, we already have some heading already set, some description cards, block, I believe. Let me go double check. Let me go check if they have description. Okay, they don't have it. It is blocks, okay. But we have the button description. Yes, we do. Yeah, so let's say that we want this to be accessible by this other settings blocks theme there. Okay, so what I'm gonna do, I will just delete this one. Okay, I will delete it, and I'm going to make this card here to be also a nested block. So how you do that? And again, remember, this is a section new card. We added a type theme here, and we add the block settings here. That's a block that's a section container, okay. But I want to be able to add a heading and at least a button inside this block theme, okay. This card, it is inside the blocks directory. To make it to be possible to nest other blocks here, I need to give it a blocks property, and the type must be also type of @theme. And here all I have to do is to print the content for and then the blocks here. Okay, if I wanted to print only a specific type of blocks here, I will just specify that here directly. But for now, I want to be able to choose whatever I want and to print it here. So if I go and I save it and I go back to my theme editor and I refresh the page, now you can see that the card has also under it a add block. Okay, before it did not have it. Let me show you again. If I go remove this type theme here and I save it and just comment this one out, and I go back to my code, my theme editor, and I refresh the page, you're going to see that under the card we can't add anything. So it's not able to nest anything within the card. Okay, we are just adding card inside the section, but this is a block. So we want to make this block to be able to nest other block inside. So if you go back to VS Code, what you have to do, you have to add this content for blocks here, but more importantly, you have to add this like this. Okay, this type equal to art theme. Okay, and if you go back to your theme editor now and you see now is nothing, but if I refresh, you're going to see now we have add block. Okay, so if I click there, I'm gonna have access to all of this bunch of blocks theme here. So let's say I want to add a title, so let's adding 3, so it's going to be there. So I can come again, I can add let's say a button, so I can add a button here. So there you go. So I can create any things I want. So that depends again how you're gonna design your UI. That's it for how to create a nest block. And next, let's talk about the app blocks.